All right, our air intake is out of the way. If you don't know how to remove the air intake so you can change out your filter, you probably shouldn't be doing this. But there are just two latches right there, and then it pivots out. Our valve assembly has the intake tube that comes in here. Squeeze that with some pliers, fold it on out of the way. And then before you remove the assembly, you actually want to disconnect the exhaust tubing. There are two, one from the first valve, one from the second valve. To access those, I would suggest removing the tubing from your valve assembly, just so you have a little more room to work. There is a 2 10 millimeter bolts that attach this tube to that housing back here. And they're more easily accessible if you remove that tubing once again. Then on the back side, back here in the back, you can see a 10 millimeter nut there. Everything's hot. And there's another one underneath. And so you really have to get your hands either from the back side over here or come in from another angle. Once those have been disconnected, they're pretty rigid. You can't really fold them out of the way. And so don't worry about trying to torque those on out of the direction. But here you see a 12 millimeter nut holding the assembly on. There is another 12 millimeter bolt underneath this bracket here. And so you have to remove this 10 millimeter bolt to get this arm out of the way. And then finally, way down in the bottom, let's see if I can get it. You see that bolt way underneath there. That's another 12 millimeter bolt that you have to take off. Once that's done, you can go ahead and wiggle this puppy out. You do have this post and this post, as well as another one underneath there that kind of oppose each other a little bit. So it takes a little bit of wiggling. So don't be afraid to manhandle it just enough to be able to get that valve assembly out. We'll see what it looks like when it's off.